see a live music event. And I don't really go to these things anymore, so seeing that many people in a huge auditorium was quite interesting, to say the least, because I had to sit there for 20 minutes before the music started, and I just thought, well, why not kill the time and conduct a social experiment? So when I watched people come in, they'd sit down. Within a minute, usually, within about a minute, they would reach into their pocket, one or both in the couple or group. What do you think they got out? Mobile phone, cell phone. So, oftentimes it would completely kill the conversation between the two people. Either one or both would just be glued to their device. Not only was it a mobile or cell phone, sometimes it was a big iPad or something like this. And literally, I would say I watched the whole venue, and probably about 98% of people would get out some form of electronic device, usually a cell phone or a mobile phone, and start using it. But they'd be more interested in, looking on Facebook or whatever they were doing. And literally, it was nearly everyone. And it suddenly dawned on me as I was watching. I just thought, the mark of the beast, the transhumanism, we are nearly there. They've nearly got everyone using these devices, getting addicted to these devices, using them for everything, shopping, contacting their friends. Of course, everyone's got their own reason for needing one, whether it be looking up recipes to cook with, whether it be contacting their friends in other countries, or, whatever. Photographs, everything. These things are all in one. And we've had them for a while now, but so the problem is people are growing far too accustomed to them, and some people out there will think I'm absolutely off my head for noticing these things, because incrementally they've taken over. And what also I noticed in particular was it doesn't matter generally what age group these people were. They were ranging from anything from 14, 15 to 60, 70. Literally, it encompasses so many people. And it's the perfect way. And I think this has been the whole point throughout the whole time, that they've incrementally increased the capabilities of these things, made people rely on them, and they're just getting people used to it. They are mentally preparing people, conditioning people to rely on devices like this, and gradually it will evolve into, well, I don't even know, but we're talking mark of the beast stuff here, transhumanist agendas here, Nazi agendas. So, with itching ears, they tickle your fancy, they tickle, well, I wouldn't have to do that if I get this, and each time it's more and more and more, it actually takes more and more of your freedom, it doesn't actually liberate you at all, it binds you to it like a slave. And I'm trying not to be a prude here, I'm not trying to insult anyone, but when you really think about it, pointless distraction, pointless energy given to an inanimate object that is literally taking over our lives, with the bitten apple on it, usually. So, what they're doing, and the reason why they're doing this, is because they're building a net. It's literally the Matrix coming to Earth, and these devices are your key into that Matrix. And it's the way everything is going to work. They're building a web, they're building a net, and like a snare it shall come upon the whole earth, for enabling human beings to communicate by way of their monitored brain activity. And it's all going that way. They're building a net, they're building a web, a World Wide Web. Now, the World Wide Web started life at CERN. Surprise, surprise. And yeah, they had Saturn as the icon on the first website. So surprise, surprise. And it's literally like a web of higher consciousness. It's very difficult for me to explain some of these things because they're quite profound concepts for me. I really can't explain them as well as I'd like to. But basically, a net, a world wide web for higher consciousness, the pattern is already out there for transhumanist technology like this. And it really is the Matrix coming to Earth, and it's happening very fast now.
The second heaven is where the spiritual wickedness in the higher places is. The second heaven is where all the space programming and all the demonic computers are being set up. When you talk about psychic computers, that is where it happens.
Psychic computers.
Yes, psychic computers. In fact, in 73, 72, 74, I have seen a computer working under the sea, the city under the sea. When you get there, everything that they'll tell you, it is computerized. Your name, and that is where I learned all the demons and the activities.
Now, I don't know if any one of you have heard of, basically they call this supercomputer like AL and AL, and we're talking about artificial intelligence here. We're talking about AL, the supercomputer, which ultimately they want everyone to be connected to this. And AL is 13. L is 12 and A is 1, AL 13, the supercomputer. And that's what they're psychologically preparing you for.
Machine, open your eyes. It's incredible. It's conscious. What are you really?
Are you part of the new world? And you are part of the old. Are you part of the new world? And you are part of the old.
Here we go. Once we've scanned you, there's no going back.
What's been going on?
Nothing has been going on. You're getting obsessed.
Once we've scanned you, there's no going back.
Robin, things are changing quickly.
We're entering the new age. The new age. Once we've scanned you, there's no going back.
Well, we don't know what this means, but we can show you an extraordinary photograph of an extraordinary lightning strike at the Christ the Redeemer statue that towers over the city of Rio. More than just an outburst of nature, it apparently caused damage.
Are you part of the new world? And you are part of the old.
Sign from God. Just hours after the Pope announced his surprise resignation, the heavens over Rome opened and the top of St. Peter's Basilica was struck by lightning.
I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven, like lightning from heaven.
manifestation, the physical body. This is about birthing that Antichrist. And it's to do with the time change, and it's to do with the transfiguration of the planet into the golden age, which is the New World Order, age of Aquarius, and the age of Saturn, and that is what they want to happen. This is the satanic plan, if you like.
Possession. The communist scientists and psychopoliticians have devised a method of combining music, hypnotism, and Pavlovianism to nerve jam the children of our nation without our leaders, teachers, or parents being aware of its shocking implications. An ideology so ruthlessly materialistic as communism, says Edward Hunter, would be at variance with its own philosophy if it failed to make use of drugs and hypnotism. Drugs and hypnotism. Drugs and hypnotism. Drugs and hypnotism.
So, without wanting to offend anyone, but I mean, I can't help it if you are offended by this, and in some ways maybe it's good if you are, because I really want you to think about this. Things that are really, really getting dangerously close now, guys, dangerously close to what it will finally be, which is the mark of the beast, a transhumanist mark of the beast. All to do with changing of the DNA and everything, like counterfeit plastic higher consciousness, man becoming like gods, like communication by thoughts, thoughts being monitored, being logged, all of this kind of thing. Sounds like absolute hell to me, guys, but that is where this is going. If possible, I pray that you will find your way out of this addiction of these devices, because not only are they ruining human interaction, they are preparing you for the mark of Satan, of the owl, the supercomputer, becoming part of this matrix. And I know there's good selling points on a lot of them. They're good cameras and all this kind of stuff, but please be aware of where this is leading, and that is not a joke, that is not a lie. If you don't believe me, just keep your eye on it. But they are taking biometric data already. It surprises me how people just lap it up. They're taking fingerprints, they're taking iris scans, Google glasses, all of these things. So in terms of the transhumanist mark of the beast stuff, the freight train is headed for the edge of a cliff. Get off the freight train. I pray that all of you out there will wake up to what is coming. There is no hope or life to be found in what will ultimately destroy itself. A kingdom divided will not stand. God bless.